All right, guys, today I want to go over everything that me and Savannah did to keep this shop from caving in once we found out the potential of the amount of ice and weight that could end up on top of there. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show y'all exactly the best way to get rid of a lot of extra ice and snow. So this is what I came home to after 2 weeks, well, 3 weeks in California for me. It is just, it's beautiful, but it is covered in snow everywhere. You can see here, this is one of the first things we did, and if you zoom out, you can see just how bowed this is. So when I did this, of course my wife was here by herself, she did the best she could do. What you need to do, you can see the big bad bow that's in it. What you need to do is put, like what I did was I had 4 braces coming out crossways, but you need at least the 2. You need at least 2 of them coming out like this to where you can make sure that it doesn't bow. You need something to keep it from bowing in and out. Another thing you could do is actually have just double boards, which is what she did on the inside. That does help some, but you just need something keeping this from bowing out. Now if you come over here, she actually had found a piece of pipe that actually worked. It was the perfect height. This obviously works a lot better. Even being pipe, a lot of people were like, well, pipe will bow and all like that. Pipe is still very, very strong. Yes, it is flexible, but it's still very strong, and this has not bowed at all. So this has helped a lot. Plus, what a lot of people don't realize is pipe has a lot of up and down vertical strength. It doesn't have very much horizontal strength. So this actually worked really, really well right here. So you can see right here, and now obviously these are still helping. It's a good thing she put all this up, and I'm really glad that she was able to do this. But this is something you need to be aware of. You can see just how much those are bowing. Now, keep in mind, we have a significant amount of weight on this shop. Now, it's melting off. There's a lot of weight that's actually off of it now. But when it first started coming down, man, it was, what was it? You said it was like 2 inches of ice and 6 inches of snow?
Something like that, yeah.
So we had 2 foot of snow on here, what was it, 4 years ago or so? And that was a lot. This whole shop bowed down a foot before I ever got to it. I could not physically get here to take care of it. And when I did get to it, then I built up all the braces. But it had already bowed down a foot, and I know it because it physically lifted back up when the snow melted off of it. So I know it can handle a lot, but you still want to do the best you can because you don't know, you don't know what the breaking point is. I mean, we could have been 1 snowflake away from the breaking point. You just don't know. But same thing here. I mean, just even putting a T right here, even putting another board screwed to the back of this to keep this from deflecting one way or the other, that would have made a huge difference altogether from anything at all. Just have this one board running this way and the second board screwed in right here, which is actually what I had told her, and I don't think she quite understood exactly what I meant when I said it. Whatever the case may be, I didn't have a lot of time. I had no service in California. It was a very stressful thing. They kind of had me helping run the job over there. I was working 13 hours a day. I had to get there an hour before everybody else. So it was a lot to have to deal with. And then I had no service unless I was on the roof. So I could only go up there during our lunch break and talk to my wife. So it was very stressful. It was just very hard to have the time to get this over to her. And then she was very stressed out too. But that is something you want to do, or have the side pieces holding in that way. Y'all come on in and take a look at what we did in here. Y'all are going to have to forgive the mess. It's been a mess ever since we built this right here. So we still haven't got that fixed yet. We are coming out with videos on that, so y'all stay tuned for that. I don't know if you can tell, but if you look up here, you can definitely see that it's bowing. But it's not bowing as bad. There's a lot more supporting this in here. So this works. This is definitely one of the better things you could do. Ideally, in the future, see, now let me explain. This shop wasn't built for these kinds of snow loads. Now that we've had this for 2 years, now we understand that we will have, that we're just going to have to beef this shop up. Now, with that being said, like I said, it's handled more than all the shops in this area. There are multiple shops. I want to say it was over 50 shops that I heard about, and I don't think that's exaggerating, that collapsed in 4 years ago. So the shop was built solid, but it was not built, nothing around here was built to handle this kind of thing. So this is something you can do. You can put these up temporarily at least. What we will be doing for sure is that we will have some unfoldable pipes. So pipe that starts there and it will unfold down. It will be like a leg. That way my wife, anybody can come over here and they can help fold that in. They can help actually come in and it will fold down with a foot. Here you go, Savannah, hold that. But you can see we use the jack stands and that helped a lot. But what I'll do is this is 21 foot all the way up. So we'll have to have a leg that folds down and then we'll sit under a jack stand or something. You could also have a leg that folds this way and then that could be the perfect 21 foot for your center one at least. And we'll probably have something like that. I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna do. But y'all let me know in the comments, how did y'all keep y'all's barns held up? What did you do to keep your stuff from caving in? Maybe you didn't have as much ice. Did y'all have any damage where you're at? What kind of stuff did y'all get? Also, if you can, I'm not sure if you can, drop some pictures in the comments. I'd love to see kind of what y'all got, what kind of inches of snow or ice that you got. But a lot of people forget that ice is significantly heavier than snow. So 2 foot of snow and 2 foot of ice is, I mean, if we would have got 2 foot of ice on this barn, it would have been significantly heavier. My brother, he lives up north, and he heard that we were going to get some stuff here. He heard that we had 2 inches. That was before we got the other additional 6 inches of snow. And, you know, he's like, well, 2 inches is nothing, man. What are you worried about? And it's like, well, 2 inches of ice is significantly heavier. I wasn't that concerned. Like, I actually think as much as these have bowed, I actually don't think these would have busted out. I think this barn could have handled more snow load or ice load than it did based on the 2 foot of snow that we had. I haven't done the math on it yet. But it was the concern that more might come. Like, my wife's here by herself. You know, she put all this in before the ice even came in. It's like, well, you don't know how much is going to come. You don't know if you're going to get 2 inches. You don't know if you're going to get 5 inches. They were calling for it to be the worst storm in history, you know. So the main thing is we're going to have to do something. But this is something that you can do that definitely helps hold your barn up. I know for a fact that it helped me 4 years ago once most of the snow had come in. Because another thing you have to think about is once you get all that weight on there, if a windstorm came through here, when you combine all that weight pushing down versus combined with all of that extra wind coming in, man, guys, it would have been bad. It would have been real bad. And I really think in the future, and I think it would be good for all of y'all as well to do this in the future, I'm going to have some kind of unfoldable leg that's hooked to a cable that anybody can come in here. You'll probably be like right here. Turn around. Anybody can just walk right in. I'll probably have it mounted on the wall. Maybe somewhere over in here. I'm not sure yet. But I'll just have a crank. Anybody can just unroll that crank and all the legs will just come down and help hold the whole shop up. Now, if it gets real bad, obviously I might have to come out here and put more in. But just knowing that anybody can come over if I'm gone, if I'm on vacation. Because I wouldn't have even gone on this job had I known how bad it was going to be. It just came out of nowhere. Savannah, what kind of time did you have, Savannah, just to get everything prepared?
Maybe 2 days.
Yeah. You didn't know anything. And by the time I knew, I couldn't have even got back home, you know, in time to help get all this together. So, but anyway, guys, we are very grateful that it all went back together. I hope that this has helped somebody for sure. Please make sure in the future, if you haven't already, figure out something like this. This is a huge win right here. This helps. This has saved a lot of people's barns. I got this idea from a guy that lives in Missouri that's always having to deal with snow loads coming on his barns and everything. And even though those barns are built more solid, he still does this every single winter because he doesn't know what kind of snow load is going to come in. So you guys from up north y'all see this every year. What y'all don't, what we get a lot of times here, we tend to get actual ice. Like this wasn't even this soft yesterday. This is ice pebbles, and then that's still pretty hard. But now that it's in the sun, it's soft. But like when it first came in, it was hard as a rock, wasn't it, Savannah?
It was. It was like, it sounded like you were walking on like a pond.
Yeah.
On ice, and how it sounds when it cracks. That deep ice sound, that's how it sounds. It did not give.
Yeah, and when I measured the roof a minute ago, or last night when I got here, I got in last night, pretty much once all of the excitement was done and I was no longer any help at all, that's when I got here. I'm gonna have to look it up. If anybody knows it, drop it in the comments. Of course, you can just Google it right now, but I'm gonna look it up and see like just how much weight the ice is versus powdery snow. And I know, I already know that not all snow is created equal, you know, and they have ways that you can measure that. Like powdery snow is lighter, you know, there's more different densities for your snow, but that ice is definitely heavier. I mean, you can pick it up. If it is in the back of your truck or something, you can pick it up and tell. That is pretty though. So this is the pond, and then across there where you see, that's where the pigs are, that, and then coming around the backside.
The bamboo froze.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I mean, it was just like that. And
like all bowed over.
It was just bowed over and so heavy, and I could hear the bamboo cracking.
Yeah. We never had any trees blowing up like some of those other people. My brother said that he heard of it over there where he's at in East Texas. Apparently there were definitely a lot of trees that fell, but he did hear somebody say that there was, you know, he heard stories of exploding trees. I don't know if it ever actually got that cold or not. Hard for me to believe that in the South, but man, we're getting such crazy stuff in the South anymore. It's just, it's hard to believe it anymore.
I mean, and we had, I mean, there were trees that fell, and I haven't seen any around here. And
yeah.
Where we are, a pretty good radius, we did not lose power.
Yeah, we got lucky.
Yes.
For sure.
So there must not have been as many trees falling.
And I'll say this, guys, this is a bit sad. Apparently, there was a lot of people in Texas that actually died. Now, I don't know if the numbers are accurate or not. Somebody said, I heard somebody say 30. If somebody knows, let me know. But I heard that there were a lot of people that died. The sad part, and obviously it's sad if anybody dies, but it's, I don't know how to say it, but it's just horrible to think that the way they died was from skiing accident or from sledding accidents. They were playing, and so the moral of the story is be careful. You get out in this stuff. We're, especially here in the South, we don't know how to handle this stuff. A lot of times I think people will try to handle ice on the road like they handle mud. They're used to mudding or used to being out in the mud, and they will try to handle that ice like mud. It is not mud. This is definitely different. So, all right, guys, we're going to sign off. You have a great day.